So this is the time of year that wrestling fans get really excited. We're on the road to WrestleMania with, in fact, Fastlane, the final WWE pay-per-view stop before the big event happening tonight. I want to talk about that, but I want to talk more about other events coming up as well. You know, whatever you think of the product in WWE at this time, lots of fans get excited about the road to WrestleMania. I'm looking forward to it myself. Obviously, there's all kinds of WrestleMania parties going on, which I'll get to in a moment, but absolutely potential for WrestleMania to hopefully be a good event this year. I don't think it'll be one of the best, but I'll talk about Fastlane right at the end of this video. Because firstly, I want to talk about Impact Wrestling. Now, very quickly, tonight sees the broadcasting here in Scotland of the second episode that was taped at the SSE Hydro in Glasgow a couple of weeks ago of Impact Wrestling's television programme. Now, unfortunately, Scottish wrestler Grado, who took part in the British Boot Camp Series 2, has had his request, him and TNA's requests, to have him able to use his entrance music, which is Madonna's Like a Prayer, turned down. Grado is kind of like the Dusty Rhodes. And he pays a lot of tribute to Dusty Rhodes with the elbow and the snap punches beforehand. He's a really entertaining guy. You know, Grado said before that his entrance is quite a bit of his act, but he does know how to wrestle. He's been wrestling for 10 years. Unfortunately, he's not had the chance to actually sit down and watch these two episodes, last week's and this week's, as last week when it was because it's always broadcast here in the UK on Challenge TV at 9 PM on a Sunday. Now, unfortunately, last week he was here in Dundee, actually doing a show for Insane Championship Wrestling, his home promotion, so he didn't get a chance to sit down and watch it then. And this weekend he's actually in Toronto in Canada, and I've actually seen him also put up pictures of him wrestling with a guy who I met last year, Mr. Dennis Stamp, who actually was wearing one of Grado's singlets, which was an amazing image to see. Look online, look at Grado Wrestling's page on Facebook. I'm sure you'll be able to see it there. Grado, you'll find it there. Unfortunately, Grado has had his request his and TNA's request turned down to use the music. He launched a campaign earlier this week to try and have the music used. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to do so. I'm going to be looking later tonight to see how the episode is broadcast here in the UK. I feel like it's obviously the music's going to be cut or overlaid with an Impact Wrestling kind of their version edit, like WWE does sometimes on the WWE network. But he's a great talent, Grado. Look out if you haven't seen it yet for the second episode of Impact Wrestling from Glasgow, where Grado takes on British Boot Camp Series 2 coach Al Snow. I'm really looking forward to actually seeing this programme, which includes the debut of ICW Heavyweight Champion Drew Galloway. Now, moving on to actually the local promotion here in Dundee, it is Scottish Wrestling Entertainment. Now, they are actually, if I can get this to the right section, actually having their next event this coming Saturday, the 28th of February. It's part of their monthly uprising events entitled The Psycho Circus. So this month is SWE Uprising, The Psycho Circus. It, again, happening, said, next Saturday, the 28th of February, at the Adler Complex in Dundee. Doors open 6:45. First bell is 7:30. There, they will have some great matches. There are a few challengers for the SWE Heavyweight Champion, #Scumbag Ian Ambrose. There are a few guys that have certainly professed, including global hero Joe Hendry, that they wish to be the one facing Ian Ambrose for the SWE Heavyweight Championship this month. That's going to be a great show. And also on that show, that it looks like, and you go to SWE online on their Facebook page, like the page and like their comment that they just made short time ago, saying that they may very well announce the 2 WWE Hall of Famers that will be joining them for their biggest show of the year, Hell for Lycra 12. I've reported this before, that Scottish Wrestling Entertainment's biggest event of the year is Hell for Lycra. This year the 12th edition will be taking place on August the 29th at the Caird Hall in Dundee. It's a huge venue. We reckon, look at it, it's a huge venue. It's around about 2,000 seater, roughly, with the setup of the ring and the crowd bars. I reckon it'll be around about 2,000 seats, possibly, for the show. They announced earlier that if they get enough engagement on their post, that they might just announce the 2 WWE Hall of Fame guests who will be at Hell for Lycra in the most famous wrestling venue in Scotland, the Caird Hall, Dundee. So it's going to be hopefully announced, and we hopefully will know this time next week who the 2 WWE Hall of Famers will be attending on August 29th, Hell for Lycra at the Caird Hall. Now, I have rattled off the names before many times, the names that SWE have actually hosted on their shows: Bret Hart, Chavo Guerrero Jr., Tatanka, the $1 Million Man, Teddy DiBiase, Roddy Piper, so many other names. Some fantastic names that they have hosted before. I'm really looking forward to seeing next week who they are going to announce as their Hall of Fame guests. Hopefully they will get enough likes on their posts, or whatever will make them feel like, yes, they want to announce those names. So find Scottish Wrestling Entertainment on Facebook, like their page, like their post, so we can find out who the 2 WWE Hall of Famers will be this coming August. Now, also hosting famous names is Discovery Wrestling. They have announced details of their second and third shows. Now, on their last show in October, they had a thrilling 4-man elimination Y division match, which is the smaller wrestlers. Ian Ambrose, Chris Sabin, Damian Daniels and Louis German had an excellent match. This next show on the 14th of March at Craggs Community Sports Centre in Edinburgh will feature 2 semi-final matches between 4 of these gentlemen. So 2 of these men will face off, and in one match, and in another semi-final the other 2 will face off. We will not know who faces who until the night of the event, but the winners of that match will go on to April the 10th to the event featuring none other than Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, to see who will become the first ever Y Division champion. So that is, tickets are front row, ringside seats already sold out for this event in March at the Craggs Community Centre, Craggs Community Sports Centre in Edinburgh. But there are still general admission tickets available. Ticketwolf.co.uk. You can also find Discovery Wrestling on Facebook, and in fact, they have been uploading matches from their very first event. Just search Discovery Wrestling on Facebook. You can see matches featuring Crime Time against Joe Henry and Marty Scurll. You can find that 4-man elimination match. You can find a great match between Rampage Brown and Damien O'Connor. There's still a couple of matches up. There's a triple threat women's match with Sami Zayn, Debbie Sharp and Viper. There's still a couple of matches still to be uploaded from that first show, so check them out again. Discovery Wrestling on Facebook, search for YouTube as well. They've got their own YouTube page. And as I said, this coming April the 10th, also in Edinburgh, at the Royston Wardianburn Community Centre. Discovery Wrestling will host Matt and Nick Jackson, two members of the Bullet Club, known as Generation Me, more commonly known as the Young Bucks. They are currently, as I speak, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. That is the titles belonging to New Japan Pro Wrestling, the largest wrestling promotion in Japan, one of the most famous promotions around the world. Now, obviously, it's not guaranteed that they will still be the champions when it comes to April the 10th. There are so many challengers for those titles. There are so many people wanting to get into a position where they're challenging for those IWGP Junior Tag Team Championships. But Matt and Nick Jackson are signed to appear here in Scotland, what may be the first time that Bullet Club members actually appear on an independent show in Scotland. The Young Bucks will be appearing again, the Royston Wardianburn Community Centre in Edinburgh, April 10th. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and again, you can also get tickets for the March 14th and the April 10th show from ticketwolf.co.uk. I'm really looking forward. Hopefully I can make both those shows. Really excited. It'll be a fantastic show. As I said, again, April 10th we'll see the crowning of the first ever Y Division champion. Now, very quickly, also a recommendation for people is a brand new podcast. It is Bell to Bell, and that is Bell, the number 2, then Bell. You can find it on podomatic.com. I believe they're also very soon going to be available on iTunes. It's my friends Chris Duke, Dr. Gru, and Chaz Phoenix, one of the 50% owners of Scottish Wrestling Entertainment. They give the news, their opinions on what is going on in the world of professional wrestling. Hopefully, maybe with some coming guests, they may get interviews. Hopefully, maybe with whoever these Hall of Fame guests is, and I'm just putting that out there for anybody associated with SW to just consider at least, maybe perhaps a quick interview with the two Hall of Fame guests or whoever else guests that SW happens to have during this year, with, of course, Chaz Phoenix being one of the presenters now of the Bell to Bell podcast. It's possible that they might get it. Bell to Bell used to be on Rock Sport Radio. Unfortunately, with Chris Duke leaving, it is now standalone podcast. It's a bit adult language at times, but it's certainly great to hear their news and opinions. As I said, you can find it on podomatic.com. They will also possibly on Stitcher. Certainly, I think, definitely believe they're looking at trying to get clearance right now from iTunes, so hopefully it'll be up there as well. The first episode is a great episode featuring also an interview with the 16-time world champion Ric Flair ahead of his UK tour this coming May. So that it's a great interview, and so you can give that a listen. And as I said, we are coming up. We're on the road to WrestleMania, and tonight is WWE Fastlane. Well, again, I don't think that WrestleMania this year is going to be an absolute all-time classic. Obviously, it's one of these events that kind of has to happen. But I think it hopefully will be a good card. I really do hope that it'll be a good show. As I said, fans get excited about WrestleMania, whatever the condition. And I know, the current products has had a lot of criticism lately with what's going on. But, I think there's potential there for a few good matches at least this coming WrestleMania 31. The match card I'll go through for Fastlane, which happens tonight, and for UK viewers, I just want to mention that if you don't have the WWE Network, you don't need to miss out on watching the event. The event will be surprisingly available on Sky Sports 1. Also, it will be available on the Sky One uh, channel. So if you don't have the Sky Sports package, it tends to be that if you don't have the Sky Sports channels, a lot of people will actually have the Sky One challenge. 1 AM here in the UK, you can watch Fastlane. So if you don't have the W Network or you don't have Sky Sports, you can still tune in to Fastlane on Sky One at 1 AM tonight. I'll go quickly through the card of Fastlane. We have, which possibly be, I'll go in reverse order in the way it's listed here on Wikipedia. We have Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan and Ryback versus The Authority, Seth Rollins, Kane and Big Show, accompanied always by Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury, in a 6-man tag team match. Goldust versus Stardust. I would like to see this one at WrestleMania, but hopefully we may even get a rematch or something will happen that we get this match at WrestleMania as well. We have the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, defending the WWE Tag Team Championships against Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. We have the Intercontinental Championship being defended by Bad News Barrett versus Dean Ambrose. I thought it was a very funny way that Dean Ambrose got Bad News to sign a contract for this match. He pretty much had him at the corner, had his hands tied, and Dean Ambrose forced Barrett to scrawl on the contract to make the match official. We have Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan in a singles match to see who will face the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. That'll be a good match. I'm really hoping that this will be a good match. I'm not sure what road WWE are going down in terms of WrestleMania. I think Roman Reigns is a good talent, and I think he could be. Obviously, he could be, and he probably is at this time, a huge star for WWE. I think he's been hurt a little bit. Could this though end up? A lot of the time in wrestling, I've said this before on previous videos, but sometimes in wrestling you get these two guys who, each of them, like one of them would certainly be the absolute top name and perhaps the most popular man in that company if there wasn't somebody else there, like Mitsuhara Misawa and Kento Kobashi in Japan, The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Rock would have been the most popular if there wasn't Steve Austin. We've had it a few times that somebody would be the absolute most popular person in the company if there wasn't that other person there that just was above them, just slightly above them. And perhaps over the next couple of years this may be the case with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, but I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully they'll put on a good match, and hopefully WWE will make the right decisions when it comes to the main event of WrestleMania. We also have Nikki Bella versus Paige for the WWE Divas Championship, and we have Rusev facing John Cena for the WWE United States Championship. Now, I kind of have a gut feeling that we may see Rusev lose against John Cena either on this pay-per-view or at WrestleMania. Rusev is currently still undefeated. I think we may see Rusev be defeated by John Cena again either this month or next month at WrestleMania. I would actually love to see Rusev defeat John Cena, because I know it's the way that a lot of people are thinking that John Cena will beat Rusev. I would love it to see Rusev beating John Cena as a springboard to more. I know he's been a lot on TV, and I know he's been featured a lot lately. I would love it for them to use Rusev beating John Cena as a springboard to push Rusev up the card, but unfortunately I can't see it happening. I think John Cena may actually, like I said, this month or next month at WrestleMania defeat Rusev. But hopefully there'll be a few good matches during tonight's Fastlane event. certainly what happens tonight will give us a very good indication of what's happening at WrestleMania. So quite a few things going on. Obviously, this time next week, once I get to know the WWE Hall of Famers, I'll put up a video revealing them, or letting people know about them, letting people know who those guys are, and obviously any ticket information that we get. They normally do sell the tickets. SW Scottish Wrestling Entertainment normally sell them on their through their website for some of their events. Whatever the ticket information, if we know it by this time next week, I'll let everybody know it. I'll put it up on the video. But really looking forward to seeing some good shows, some great guests coming up this year, and certainly tonight will absolutely determine, I think, in my certainly what direction WWE will be going on for WrestleMania. I think, though, that whatever WWE's decision is, they'll tomorrow night, during the day, tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw, I think whatever they do, they will be facing a lot of criticism. But hopefully, WWE will pull it together and we can actually sit back and enjoy this WrestleMania season.